Everyone I know.
Everyone I know. Everyone I know. Everyone I know. Everyone I know. Everyone I know.
Yeah. There it is. There it is. There it is. Everyone I know. Everyone I know. Welcome to Everyone I Know, the podcast where we argue about the mundane. We're here again in the Troy Castle, in the Troy Mansion in Troy, baby. I'm here with my lovely producer, Brendan.
Hello.
Ooh, he's on the mic.
Ooh.
And my brother, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for listening. If you're listening to us, this episode of Everyone I Know is brought to you by Audible.com. If you want a free audiobook and a trial membership to Audible.com, you go to audibletrial.com/EIK. I'm listening to a thing about the BTK Strangler. It's free for me and you. They don't pay. Andy Poorhouse, right?
That's right. Everyone I Know is brought to you also by the Madison Poorhouse of Albany. If you're looking for a good time and a good beer, go down to Madison Poorhouse. They also have spirits.
They do. They're pretty strong.
They are strong. Some of them have charcoal at the bottom to keep them fresh.
I was drinking the Japanese whiskey there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of the name of it, but it's very, very, very good.
Which Chris did buy me.
I did.
On my wedding night.
Yes.
He got me a glass of... that was the only drink anybody bought me, I think,
Really?
on my wedding night.
It's because they were
kinda
already
fucked up.
fucking
Because I
trashed.
bought everybody else drinks.
Yeah, I was
It
going
my
to say,
favorite
everybody was already
wedding.
trashed on the way over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really fucking good.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It's delicious whiskey. The Japanese are like, oh, that's how you make whiskey? No, we're going to make it better.
No, that stuff was like scary
It's
smooth.
so fucking good.
You would never know how much alcohol is in that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Something strange going on today, though, Andy. Something strange in the neighborhood, though.
What's going on in the neighborhood?
Nobody showed up.
Oh, it's just the fellas. Just the fellas.
I can't believe you didn't have like some sound effects ready for that.
I was going to tell you to do that, but I forgot when on the ride over. There you go.
the fellas.
Wow, that was impressive.
Very good musicianship there, Andy. Good job.
So we've got our producer, a longtime producer, on the podcast as our guest. I don't know. It's just the fellas
Just
today.
chopping it up with the boys.
Just
Come
hanging
on.
out. So Brendan, tell us about yourself.
I produce a podcast.
Really? Tell us about it.
It's called the Everyone I Know podcast. It is sponsored by the Madison Poorhouse. Mm-hmm. And it is also sponsored by Audible.com, except they don't pay.
Exactly. Oh, also, folks, we're on Spotify now.
Oh, yeah,
We
we're
are
on
on
Spotify.
Spotify.
If you don't want to download our episode, you can stream it like a kid.
Ooh.
7 people have done it.
7
I,
people have streamed episodes. Very cool.
I play in a band called Yoma.
It's true. Playing a
with,
show very soon.
Yeah, with friend of the cast, Seth. We are playing a show on September 27th.
I don't know why
Yeah.
you're looking at me like I fucking
27th
All
at
right,
Paulie's.
September
at
27th
Paulie's.
at Paulie's Hotel.
Paulie's Hotel.
Be there or
Yes.
be square, you fucking paisan.
Yep, if you walk in and it doesn't look like it's the right show, you have walked into the low beat.
Yeah, go next
Walk
door.
out, take a right, and go in the next building. It's happened before.
We'll all be there having a good time. Thursday, right? It's a Thursday?
Yes, it is a Thursday.
Nice.
It should be. It's River Cult is the
know them.
I think they're a traveling band that is going to be there. It's going to be a good show. It'll be
excited.
our first show with vocals.
I'm very excited. I've listened to some of the stuff. I like it a lot. You guys do a lot.
That sounds just like it. Why aren't you singing up there?
Yeah.
I fucking offered to. And
Well, we
I
were
was told-
supposed to start with Chainsaw, but you know.
Yeah, well, I don't want to talk about Chainsaw. So
I want to see the. Sorry to interrupt,
go
but I
on.
want to see the behind the music of
Oh,
the hypothetical band that never even happened.
That's actually a really good idea.
It's wonderful.
That
Because
is a
there's
good
been a
skit
lot
idea.
of drama. I've already fired a bassist. I've already fired a manager. Brought him back.
Behind the music about making a band that never became anything.
Yeah. We have a URL. Well, we have a. I take that back.
That's as good as putting out 2 albums.
I think so. Right.
First step is lock down that URL. If
If you got
somebody
an-
else
if you
gets
got an
it.
Instagram, that's what you need.
Well, so it's actually not the URL that you think it is. It's goofcoinbling.com. So they actually sponsor Chainsaw.
Oh.
So it's Chainsaw lives at goofcoinbling.com. If you guys want to reach out to us.
Didn't Goopcoin have like a little
It made a
catchphrase?
list, yeah.
It got put on like what was it? It was like
It
super legit like
Didn't-
cryptocurrencies.
Didn't it have a jingle?
Oh, did it?
It was like when you get that goof coin or something.
Oh,
yeah.
well, when I hear that goof coin bling,
Yeah.
it can only mean one thing. It really was. Drake did most of the heavy lifting on that one.
Yeah. If you're wondering what we're talking about, go back into our catalog. Is one of the things I came up when I was shit-faced one night.
When cryptocurrency was hot, Chris made a cryptocurrency and then got on a list of trending cryptocurrencies.
Good job.
All right, quick, we'll do the Old Man Minute. If you're new to the podcast, every week our father writes in responding to last week's podcast with his take on our topics. All right, start that off. Greeting EIK fellas. This first thing I just want to say, he yelled at me about this on the phone, like
did he?
after listening to the episode. Huge technical correction. Chris, by her own admission, Vader, that's our mother, is a culprit that mixed your cereals. Do you not remember that Grandma was OCD? Mixing cereals in a box or a bowl was strictly forbidden because she believed that it would result in spontaneous creation of mice, ants, and cockroaches. Forward ho.
Hashtag science.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. I mean, this is
makes
the only
sense.
way you got to do. You got to wash your hands 15 times, and then your mom won't die.
Topic 111, generic versus brand name. You forgot one of the most important products that you should always buy generic, prescriptions.
Ah, yes.
Over-the-counter drugs, both of them. When I worked at Emory Pharmacy while in college, my boss, Pete, always said chemical compounds are chemical compounds.
No shit. You could, if it wasn't for patent laws, they could make generics right off the bat, and everybody could just get medication, and everyone would be okay. Fuck you, healthcare, right now. Fuck you, pharmaceutical companies, but hire me.
Okay. Topic 2, fall and fall-type stuff. I totally agree with you, Robbie, Chris, and Andy. Fall is my favorite season, despite the fact that October 9th, a date that shall live in infamy, that's our parents' wedding anniversary.
Yes.
Falls in the middle of it. My only disagreement is that my favorite apple is the early, crisp, tart Macintosh variety. Topic, that's a
As
weak,
long as
that's a
it's not
weak
Red
choice.
Delicious, though.
Red Delicious.
Macintosh
Red
is
Delicious
like-
is unforgivable. I would ban this segment if he said Red Delicious.
Yeah.
You hear that, old man? Topic 3, lifestyles of the 1%. Opulent wealth sickens me. How much is enough? The estimated net worth of the Catholic and Mormon churches are in excess of 200 billion each. The estimated population of the earth is 7.2 billion. If these assets were liquidated and distributed, every person on the earth would receive $55.5 billion. Keep in mind, these are only 2 religions. That does not count for all other religions, established charities, and not-for-profit organizations, private foundations, governments, and stupidly rich assholes in the world. So riddle me this: why does anyone in this on this earth live in misery? That came from our father. I'm not fucking making this up,
Dude, Doc, comrade.
man.
Like,
Sounds like-
hell
yeah.
yeah, dude.
Wow.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a little bit of socialism up in
Yeah,
here.
maybe a little bit.
It's
He's
almost
talking
like
about seizing the means of production.
Yeah.
It's what it sounds like to me.
almost like Christianity is the most socialist religion, and
Yeah.
him being
Did
a
he
devout
finish off
Catholic his whole life.
Did he finish it off with "from each according to his ability"?
Exactly. For each according to his need.
Love, old man. P.S. Andy, you missed your true calling as either a game show host or the next Alex Jones.
Oh, I could do it.
Or both at the same
Oh,
time?
could you imagine that?
Honestly, dude, there are 3. I said this. I think it was the episode where you were out most recently. I said I want to be a game show host. I want to be a lounge singer, or I want to be a huckster.
A cult leader.
Cult leader is a fusion of the 3.
Yeah.
Think about Charlie Manson. He sang to him, played little games like what's inside this sugar cube I'm putting on your tongue? It was LSD.
All I know
Spoiler.
is I am taking a note right now. Future topic idea: Alex Jones game show.
Oh hell yeah! Oh my god! What's in your water?
Is it fluoridation? Is it like gay bomb? Gay bomb, baby. The answer to everything is it's gay bomb, baby. It's a gay bomb, baby.
Alex, I'd like to use one of my lifelines. Okay, who would you like to call? I'd like to call the Illuminati.
I'll take gay bomb for 500.
Well, Hillary's line has been disconnected for years.
Her passport's been seized. They're picking her up at the airport. That was like the QAnon shit. Anyway, moving on now to topic. Number. Ooh, no.
Your synth finger's a little stiff today.
My synth finger is not great because I forget that I have to turn on the volume to my synth now. We've rearranged. We've upgraded the studio.
Yep.
For you, the listening audience. All right, folks. First topic is me today, and my topic is a movie that I watched yesterday with my dearly beloved Olivia. I watched Mrs. Doubtfire, featuring the great Robin Williams.
He's a criminal.
Robin Williams?
in the movie.
Why is he a criminal? Because he's violating his child support.
Yeah,
shit?
that a whole bunch of other shit. So there's a YouTube channel.
I think I saw that video
Yeah.
today. I also saw the trailer cut together like a horror film.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, that was really good.
it's really well done
it
because
is.
like with like the picture on him goes hello.
Yeah.
And it's like gang, gang, gang.
as an editor, I appreciate that.
He's
a
like
lot.
I'm addicted to my kids.
Also, best plot line in all of Arrested Development.
Which
Oh
one?
yeah. What was her name?
Mrs. Featherbottom.
Yeah, Featherbottom.
Oh, where Tobias does
Yeah.
the Doubtfire.
Yeah.
I think that he might have set up a legal precedent in that movie. It'd be the Doubtfire defense. Just I love my children so much that I just did this.
Yeah, I don't think it hold up.
So I have a couple notes. We're just going to talk about the movie. It's just a great movie. I also watched the Robin Williams documentary on HBO, The Step Into My Mind.
I haven't been able to bring myself to watch it yet.
It's a little sad.
Yeah, I can fucking imagine.
It's sad because he dies.
Well, spoilers.
Spoiler, yeah, shit.
Sorry, dude. Okay, so one of the things that I was gonna say, like the switcheroo scene where they're like at the restaurant, he's got basically like 2 dates to the dance. I think that might be the first time I recall seeing that trope done in a movie, which I think is notable, and I really enjoyed it. I do enjoy that he gets fucking wasted in that scene. That's like
Yeah.
half of the thing. The reason why he fucks
He
up is
forgets
because he like at one part he's getting wasted with the Hollywood, because the setup for the scene is that he's having dinner with the Hollywood guy, and he's also having dinner with his wife and the kids and Pierce Brosnan. And so he gets wasted with the Hollywood guy, and then he sits back down to the table as Mrs. Doubtfire, because he's changing in the bathroom, obviously, and there's a lot of hijinks with that as well.
He's taking off those prosthetics and putting them back on.
Yeah.
Rapid succession. How much like fucking what is it called? Like the gum?
Spirit gum?
Spirit gum, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that he could maybe
No.
do that.
I don't think the plot as a whole was feasible.
No, I don't think it's sustainable. But he gets wasted, and he sits down, and the guy's like, Dave? He's like, what's up?
It's like, what's going on? It's a couple manly men drinking some scotch.
And then he asks him, he's like, what are you wearing? Because the scene, the last switcheroo before that, he sits down and he's wearing women's perfume and he's wearing lipstick, and he's like, oh, I kissed a lady.
I forgot about that. I forgot that there was a scene before he actually.
Yeah, he fucks up twice. Like
Yeah.
he's on the bleeding edge. He's still drinking scotch. He's still drinking Chardonnay as an old lady.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? I like to bring some light to the way that he gets caught by his children because he's pissing standing up.
Yeah, with the door open.
With the door open. His son sees his full dick. And there's like dialogue to support that. Like, it's not even just like he's like, oh, ladies don't pee standing up, especially not old women. Like, that's crazy. Like, she has a dress on. Which, by the way, like, if you're doing the Miss Doubtfire thing, sit down and take a piss. Like, it can't be easy to hike your dress up, hike your bodysuit over, and all that.
Also, it is borderline transphobic. Now that I think about it.
Oh, it's not woke at all on that front. Although there are, I've got some commendations to give it at the end. We've got awards for woke, semi woke, and not woke at all.
Okay.
So the line of dialogue, I got this because I got into an argument with Olivia today. We watched it yesterday. And I was like, he sees his full dick, and he's like, no, he doesn't. He just saw him peeing standing up. He knows that's not how ladies pee. And I go, no, this is the line. It's, Lydia, Freezer, you're gonna get it. She has like a fire extinguisher or something held on him because the Chris, the little kid, comes in like is screaming, and he goes, yeah, in the balls. And she goes, yeah, pause, Lydia, she's got him? And he goes, she's got everything. Saw the dick and the balls. Saw his dad's full
the
dick.
Frank and the beans.
Yep.
And then he goes, watch your
and
mouth,
tackle.
young man. And then that's when they figure out that it's his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the greatest movie for today's current environment with bathroom bills and stuff like that. The other thing I wanted to point out was that Pierce Brosnan, like, you're supposed to fucking hate this guy from the jump. Man did nothing wrong, basically. He was just rich, like, which is, its own thing. But
So the video I was talking about before is from a well-known YouTube channel called film theory. Mm-hmm. They're an offshoot of game theory. Guy like investigates movies and stuff like that. One of the things that's one of the big points he makes is like, this guy was fucking nice.
He was fine.
he wanted to like the kids. He wasn't the normal like trope stepdad that's an asshole.
Yeah, he was like, I'm just gonna pipe your mom.
And then what does Robin Williams do? He defaces his car and then tries to kill him with fucking pepper.
He also throws a lime in his head.
Oh yeah, he throws the lime.
Drive-by fruiting.
Drive-by fruiting. My favorite line from that fucking movie.
He also saves his life. He brings the pain and makes it good at the end.
Yeah, because he realized that he would have. So that was another point they made in the video, was that because of him trying to save his life, he would have just gotten like voluntary manslaughter, but he would have gone to fucking jail.
Oh yeah,
if he had died,
for sure.
I don't think his defense of "I'm just addicted to my kids" would have worked.
I'm addicted to my kids.
That would have played well with the jury. Can't fucking get enough.
Jesus.
That was it. I wonder if that was Alex Jones' defense.
He honestly could have done that. He's like, I'm addicted to my kids. I need their organ energy. It keeps me young.
Blood transfusions.
Okay, so what are you guys' favorite scenes? I think I know what Chris's is from the start because he used to haze his pledges with it.
Hello. There was that. But my actual favorite line is something about his or her husband being dead.
Okay.
Twas the drink that killed him. Oh, he was an alcoholic. Nope, hit by a Guinness truck.
So it literally was the drink that kills him.
The drink that killed him.
There's in that Robin Williams documentary, they show a bunch of outtakes of that, and they have alternates and stuff. Yeah. So there was one that was like, it's like, oh no, Guinness truck fell off, 6 kegs fell out the back. He got through the first 3, but the rest got him.
Mine is definitely the drive-by fruiting.
That's
my favorite.
I just love him getting wasted as Mrs. Doubtfire and then being like a gruff dude at the bar. Like he's just slamming beers in the sun, and he's just like, "Shut up."
Oh man.
I think my favorite scene is when his teeth fall into the Chardonnay, and then him and Pierce Brosnan fish the mouth, and he's like, "Carpe dentum, seize the teeth." He's like, make us pincer, dear. Okay, so another notes that I wrote down about it is the tiniest girl is the cutest in the world. She's like a mixture of Macaulay Culkin as a baby and what's his face, Osment, the guy from Haley Joel Osment from the Sixth Sense. Like it's like you mix them together and then make them a girl, and then that's Mara Wilson.
That dude did not grow up well.
His face stayed the same size,
exactly the same.
And his body grew around him in a perfect sphere.
Who's this?
Haley Joel Osment.
I haven't seen him recently.
Oh man,
he's looking.
You didn't see Tusk?
I turned Tusk off.
Oh, he's in Tusk.
Yeah, good for him. He's making some good choices.
You might not have even known it was him.
Yeah,
but it was him.
I didn't get very far in that movie.
What was I gonna say? The little girl, and that's actually the same girl as Matilda, which Olivia pointed out to me like maybe 15 times during the movie.
I don't remember the kids at all from the movie because of just the hijinks that Robin Williams was doing.
One of my favorite things about the movie was it was literally a movie about dating Robin Williams and why it sucks. Because he quits his job because he wouldn't do the smoking ad, which woke. Then he comes home and he throws this giant party for his kid who's grounded.
Yep.
And then he trashes the house because he has donkeys and sheep and bunnies and
that was
shit.
against the law.
It was against the law. It was in violation. The cop was telling him. And the woman was like, "I'm just as pissed as you are. Oh, watch me." And then she divorces him publicly in front of the kids.
Yeah, that's...
She's like, "It's over." She was having a bad day. One of the things I like about it is that there were 3 distinct scenes, or maybe 2, where it's just Robin Williams doing characters. Yeah. Because he's a voice actor in the movie, and that's just what he's just supposed to be, basically Robin Williams, less successful version. There's a part where he's at the bank and she's like, "Oh, do you have any special talents?" He's like, "Yes, I do voices." And then he just does 15 scenes of different voices. And then it's the same thing when when his brother is doing his makeup and hair and stuff. And he does a Barbara Streisand. He does a bunch of impressions, which I thought was interesting. Did you know that Robin Williams married his housekeeper? Like he was married to his wife. He had a kid with her, and then he just married his housekeeper and married her and just made kids and stuff. So it's kind of like a little bit. He had 3 wives.
Oh,
yeah. So He was a real poon hound. I have to say.
And I think Robin Williams. I think Poonhound.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
I love that Louis episode with him.
I don't think I've seen that
Are
one.
you serious?
No, I've seen most of them.
You've made an error if you haven't seen that episode.
What happens in the episode?
It's this guy dies, and
Was it Robin Williams?
No, but it has to do like it's about them talking about like their mortality when they die, and it was not long before
I can imagine. I mean,
suicide.
he died of Parkinson's. He had what's called Lewy body dementia. Lewy bodies are basically just like plaques that build up, like protein plaques that build up in your neurons and kill them. So he like he was going like batty like the last couple days before he killed himself. Like they said, like he had no idea what the fuck was going on. Okay, so
Watch that episode though.
I will.
It's really good.
Okay, so let's award a couple medals to Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
Very woke on divorce. Very positive message about divorce. Because it's not the fucking Parent Trap where it's like, if only I could find my missing twin, we can get my parents back together, and all we have to do is have a dope enough hot secret handshake, and then my parents will get back together. At the end of Mrs. Doubtfire, they stay divorced because they don't love each other.
Nope.
And okay, so that was very woke. I'm actually going to play this scene at the end where when he finally gets the TV show. Semi woke on gay issues and women's issues. His brother is like a gay hairdresser, and like he's like together and with it, and like does help his brother defraud like the state and go against court orders. But he does a very good job with
But it's not even really a
makeup.
plot point. It's just kind of like
He's just a gay
he's
gay
a
guy.
gay dude.
Yeah, it is cool. I actually really like that actor. He's in a couple movies.
Yeah.
And then women's stuff like Mrs. Doubtfire is like obviously like a strong independent woman, and like she gets her shit done, and she kind of like breaks things, even though it's Robin Williams in a dress. Like it's supposed to be like a positive role model for them. Very unwoke about trans issues, as we've said. Yeah. Like I think the word he, she is thrown around a lot. I think there are at least 2 different songs. They play Dude Looks Like a Lady and Walk Like a Man, Talk Like a Man. So though that wasn't great. Let's see. Before I'm going to play the scene at the end where the outro scene, I might messed up a little bit because it's a very positive message. But I have this very strong desire for like sometime in the future. Like let's say my 40th birthday party. Okay, you guys got time to plan this. I really want someone to deceive me like the dinner scene in Mrs. Doubtfire. I want to go to dinner with somebody.
Who's got that gravitas?
I don't know.
Charlie.
Charlie could do it. I want Charlie to come in and be like, "Oh, I'm the maitre d' for the restaurant. I'll give you a nice table." And then he runs.
Peter
He's like,
Sellers.
"Oops, I gotta go take a shit." And then he goes and changes in the bathroom. He comes back. It's like, "Oh, Charlie, you're a little late." He's like, "Sorry, I'm late." He's like, "Oops, gotta take a shit." Then he runs to the bathroom. Comes back as the waiter. He's like, "Oh, monsieur, what can I get you?" And he's like, "Got to take a shit." I just don't know what possible reason someone could get up to the bathroom that many times that it wouldn't be suspicious.
I just say you got IBS.
Got to take a shit.
I got to take a shit. I had the oysters.
The oysters are not agreeing with my stomach. Okay, here we go. This is the scene about why everyone doesn't have to be the same and people can live in different households. Thank you, the makers of Miss Doubtfire and Robin Williams' American Treasure. Go. So this is he's gotten on TV, right? And
he's like sitting with all of his characters and.
I don't know why we're not getting sound. What's
Yeah, everything's up.
When they don't live
Oh, it is.
they
It's
don't
just a chord.
fight all the time, and they can become better
Okay.
people and much
So we
better
gotta fix this
mummies
chord,
and
buddies.
daddies for you.
Here we go.
Oh, my dear Katie.
Oh, he got a letter.
You know,
He got a letter on his TV at his broadcast
Yeah.
show now that he like basically she was asking him like, "Oh, my parents are getting divorced. Do they still love me? I don't know. We'll see." And then here we go.
angry. They get along much better when they don't live together. They don't fight all the time, and they can become better people and much better mummies and daddies for you. And sometimes they get back together. And sometimes they don't, dear. And if they don't blame yourself. Just because they don't love each other anymore doesn't mean that they don't love you.
This is
All sorts
93.
of different families.
93.
Some families have one mommy, some families have one daddy or two families. And some children live with their uncle or
No
aunt.
gay, no gay
Yeah, I was
dads.
gonna say no two daddies, no two mommies.
It's okay, we're getting there.
And some live in separate homes and separate neighborhoods in different areas of the country, and they may not see each other for days, weeks, months, or even years at a time. But if there's love, dear, those are the ties that bind. And you'll have a family in your heart forever. All my love to you, Poppet. You're going to be all right.
La la la. Thanks, Robin Williams. You're a treasure. I hope you didn't do nothing bad that we find out soon.
Yeah, that would really suck.
Can't happen. Can't happen. He only did cocaine and drank and was an alcoholic in the 80s.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could have happened?
Jesus Christ.
You mean he was there in the 80s?
Yeah, he was there.
He was alive.
He was with Chris Farley the night that he died.
yeah.
That's
Oh, I did not know that.
yeah, isn't that weird? We'll see you in hell. All right, without
Chris
further,
Farley?
both of them. Why not? It'd be a great party. Down there
yeah.
with John McCain, Saddam Hussein,
Jesus Christ.
Robin Leach.
Robin Leach. Yep. All right. Without further ado, we're moving on now to topic number two.
Ooh. Excuse me.
Caught your cough on that.
Hey. All right, I am topic 2 today. Today we're going to talk about nostalgia.
Ooh, nostalgia.
Mainly the rosy retrospective idea that we judge things from our past in a better light, a more positive light, because they were from our past.
Okay.
So a definition of that is it refers to a psychological phenomenon of people sometimes judging the past disproportionately positive than they judge the present. The Romans occasionally referred to it as, I'm not going to try to say it in Latin, which translates roughly to the past is always well remembered.
Okay.
And that came from Wikipedia.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Sponsored.
Sponsor us, you not-for-profit bitch.
So I got a couple pointed questions, pretty softball type
Okay.
stuff. But kind of hoping we get into a little bit of a fight.
I'd love to argue with you guys. You're both my friends. I'd love to be. I'd love to be mad.
So first thing, what is something that you're shamefully aware that you only like because of nostalgia?
Ooh, that's a really good question.
Like what are you very that you enjoy it often, maybe daily, that you know you only really like it because it was something that you had in your past?
I think there are definitely bands that I'll pick up every
Okay.
once in a while. That it's like if I didn't get into them in high school, I wasn't going to get into them.
yeah,
Like,
that's definitely true.
I think that I mean, I like Nine Inch Nails now, but I'm not going to listen to like Downward Spiral in a
Why
serious.
not?
It's very.
Yeah, that album's amazing.
Listen,
It's that album holds up
Yeah,
so
you could
well.
go- so that-
that's the worst album to pick for that.
I'm sorry.
You could say years, not
I
years.
know, I'm
zero.
sorry.
With teeth.
Down in it is what I'm actually speaking.
Well, that's
about.
That's on the Pretty Hate Machine.
Pretty Hate Machine. Okay.
And
Which,
that
okay.
song is really bad.
Yes,
it's-
it is.
it's a pretty bad song.
terrible song.
It's a bad song.
No, what I was just gonna say is that like I think it's way angstier than any music I would ever come near nowadays. I think if I got it on my Spotify Discover Weekly, it'd be in the trash.
Yeah, okay.
I just I don't have that many problems with my dad or my mom.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate society, but those pigs can't get me in here. I'm in podcast land. I'm in your fucking earphones right now.
We're in your head.
I think The Goonies.
Goonies. Okay.
Never seen it.
I'm pretty sure if I watched The Goonies now, I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
Corey Feldman's in this, I guess.
Maybe a little movie called Lost Boys.
Never
Not
saw
the
Lost
best
Boys.
fucking movie in the world, like everybody thinks it is.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's pretty run of the mill for a mid '80s fucking teen movie. It's got vampires. Cool.
I think this will play right into your likes, Chris. I think like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are that for a lot of people.
Yep, yeah, because it's like it was kind of your first exposure to a hyper violent, like weird, like narrative driven movie. You haven't seen anything like that before. It's shit. So, but you remember it fondly because the first time, like, oh, I'm super smart. I get why this all fits together now.
Yeah.
You idiot.
You know what movie?
Actually, Boondock Saints is an even better
Oh,
example.
that's a fucking perfect example.
Because
That
that is a very bad movie.
it's not good.
It's a horrible movie, but some people love that movie, and I think it's because people
they're
my
Irish.
age like got into that movie in high school.
Yeah.
And it seemed really cool in high school.
So can we like say that anything that you see on that you had on your freshman wall, like as a poster, is probably a good candidate for that?
I don't know. I think I had a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff. And,
That show holds up.
That show holds up. The first season does not, but the rest of that show holds up incredibly well.
So one of the things I had was the really shitty reality shows from like VH1, like Flavor of Love.
Oh yeah,
I used to watch.
I'll watch that. I
shit
watched
out
that
of
stuff
those.
like maybe like a year ago. We just pulled it
Yeah.
up on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I'll just watch clips now. I won't watch full
yeah.
episodes, but yeah, I want to see what they're up to.
Oh
see
yeah,
see how they're doing.
Flavor Flav.
How much? Here's a good question. This might be controversial. How much of the original trilogy Star Wars do you think is attributable to this?
is
The
good?
the continued
The
love
first,
of it.
so 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
It's 100% the kind of the same idea I was saying about Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, which you brought up. Like it was the first time you saw like an epic like that, an
Yeah.
epic movie on that scale.
Yeah.
And it was so nostalgic for our parents, and they wanted to give that to us. So they was beaten into our head that Star Wars is the best fucking thing in
right,
the world.
it's important.
When really the only good one is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Return of the Jedi
And The Last Jedi is
I think
amazing.
I think Return of the Jedi is a little underrated because the bad part of it detracts from what is a genuinely
good
good
point.
part. All the stuff with Luke is great.
Yeah.
Everything with Luke and the Emperor and everything is
Yeah,
as
that
good
was
as
dope.
anything in Empire Strikes Back. It's just that everything else
Yeah,
doesn't hold
is
up so
for
well.
toys,
Except for the general guy. The
Akbar?
calamari guy. Yeah, Akbar.
Akbar. Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. All right. So what's something that you think is unfairly judged by nostalgia? People say it's shit, even though it's legitimately good on its own.
It's a good one. Do you have an example?
I was gonna say Sega Genesis.
Okay. Yeah.
I think is like the original Sonic games.
Honestly,
I think
even the fucking Dreamcast.
well, the
was
Dreamcast is
unfairly
Well, the
judged.
Dreamcast has like a
it's been brought back into
it's like a legendary kind of thing now
Yeah.
because it failed so miserably.
Yes,
but it was actually a legitimately good console for its time.
yeah, for sure.
But I think the Sega Genesis and like their crop of games is a better example of that because it was like people now would be like, oh, you were just a Sega boy.
Right.
You know,
well,
it's-
you do feel very disenfranchised as being a Sega boy. Like I
Yeah.
truly
'cause
feel
fuck
like
Nintendo.
I have no real nation. Like I like
You have a
Ninten-
nation. It's the Sega Nation, dog.
I had a
Yeah, it's-
TurboGrafx 16 in addition to my Sega and my
Wow.
Super Nintendo, and the TurboGrafx 16 wasn't good. So not a good.
There's no
example for this.
stands out there for that.
Yeah.
People
I'm
aren't
trying to
fucking
think.
lining
So
up.
we're thinking of stuff that everybody thinks sucks
because of nostalgia.
because of nostalgia.
but
Because
it's
of its own PR
Yeah,
stuff.
because it's legitimately good. It stands on its own.
So wait, so people disregard it because they
Yes.
think it's just nostalgia.
Yes.
Oh, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'll bring that back.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
would
good
definitely
point.
That
agree.
show
That
gets thrown
feels
under
like
the bus by people that have never really watched it before, or people who like just caught it back then and they don't really remember it and don't
Yeah.
appreciate that it's a remarkably rich character drama considering what it is.
What
and
it
that
is, yeah.
the cheesiness and stuff is an intentional skewering of B movie and sci-fi tropes. That the whole idea of the show is, what if we took B movie, horror movie, sci-fi stuff
and did it weekly.
and we did it like week like this, had this monster of the week thing, but then use that as a platform to tell a compelling story about interesting characters. And it's funny because anytime you read a list of TV shows that are like the greatest TV shows of all time, it's always on there.
Yeah.
But the people who haven't watched are always like, I don't understand why this show's on here. And I'm always like, you just need to sit down and push through the first season and then watch the rest of it. So I definitely think Buffy's a really big example.
So
of that.
sticking with Josh Whedon, I've never watched it, and probably because people talk about it all the goddamn time is Firefly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's
that
that's one
seems
that I
like-
just don't even want to be a part of because I wasn't part of that.
You should go back and
I
watch
didn't.
it. It holds up.
One of these days I will.
You know what I think maybe flies into this trope a little bit, like it's kind of adjacent to it, is when a rock star dies.
Yeah,
And their music immediately becomes, Bible or becomes scripture. And then it's like, It's like, well, was it really that good? Was it, was it? You can have people on either side of the fence.
Yeah.
Where you have people who are like, oh, it's just because he died that you give a shit.
Yeah.
Or people are like, it's the best, and maybe it's not.
So I think maybe an example could be David Bowie, but if you don't think David Bowie was an amazing artist, you're a fucking idiot.
I think a better one would be Nirvana. Because I think Nirvana to some people is just kind of cheesy. And to some people, it's very, very
I like listen
locked in like a particular time set.
I listened to Smells Like Teen Spirit like recently, like in the last couple months after we listened to that stupid
the
podcast.
song or Nevermind?
No,
the album?
the song. I don't listen to the
song,
whole album.
okay.
And I was like, oh yeah, I remember the song and all the fucking words. And I'm like, is this objectively good?
It's hard to really
is.
say.
Yeah, I'll go on a limb. Yeah,
Yeah, you think?
they're great written songs.
Yeah, you
Listen,
stand on them.
Think about their songs. What makes a good pop song? Like, don't think of them as like
I think that
punk
that's-
rock songs.
yeah,
or something.
I think that that's
Think of
the
these
important
as
thing
pop
to-
songs. Kurt Cobain was intentionally making music that was inspired by punk sounds.
Yeah.
But his favorite band was the Beatles, and that was what he even said. He's like, I don't even understand why any of us are doing this because the Beatles already did it so well. And the Beatles were writing pop songs.
Right. Well, I think
and-
that his mythos, like the cult that built around Kurt Cobain, I think was definitely unearned. I don't think he was as subversive of a guy as people made him out to be.
I think he was. I don't think he was trying to be either.
Right,
That's
yeah.
the
Right.
thing. Like, but that's what happens when people die young.
Yeah.
People build those kind of things
Yeah.
around them. But Kurt Cobain, if you listen to those songs, they are just a relentless attack of amazing hooks.
Yeah.
Like, think about "Smells Like Teen Spirit." You have that riff in the beginning. You have the "I'm a mulatto" and albino thing.
Yeah.
Like the little wow little break. Like, it's just hook after hook, and that whole album, and In Utero is like that too. It is just like every song is just crammed full of these hooks where if you put out an album with 1/10 of those hooks on it, it would be a hit album.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those things where it all depends on what standpoint you're coming from. Because here, another one that I was just going to say was Twin Peaks. I think to some people, Twin Peaks is the end all be all, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Like somebody we're sitting at the table with right now.
because it is.
Yeah, and I'm in that camp as well. I love Twin Peaks.
I am a huge David Lynch fan. I do not agree with you guys. I think
see-
it's a little bit more than a little bit. It's very on the nose, and sometimes too it's to help it, but a lot of times to its detriment, and it's alienating for people.
I think that the thing about Twin Peaks that is not fully appreciated is that the first 2 seasons are not David Lynch's show. They're David Lynch and Mark Frost.
Right.
And Mark Frost is the guy that came from writing basically detective novels. He wrote like
Right.
Sherlock novels and
Right.
stuff. And if you watch it with that in mind and you see that influence too, you see it less as kind of a watered down David Lynch
And
kind
as
of
a fusion
and as
in
more of a
between.
fusion of that. Because if you watch the show, Cooper and Truman are very clearly Sherlock and
Yeah, for sure.
but if you like the David Lynch part of it, just watch season 3 of Twin Peaks because it's basically an 18-hour long David Lynch movie.
See, that's the thing with David Lynch.
It's 18
A little bit of him goes a long way for me.
Dude.
I love a nice hour and a half, 2 hours with that man.
What's
and
the
then I'm
Chris?
good for a week.
Season
Why can't I
3.
lock you in a room, dose you with ayahuasca, and make you watch entire season 3 of Twin Peaks?
Season 3
18
of
hours.
Twin Peaks is 18 hours of why everything you wanted to see in season 3 of Twin Peaks is bullshit and you never should have wanted it.
Right.
It's David Lynch just
I do
brilliantly
appreciate that,
subverting
though.
this
I
idea.
do. But I just couldn't.
I'm not
watch
going to
it.
give you anything you want. I'm going to just burn everything you like down, and I'm going to make it amazing in the process.
Was that not though just a commentary on nostalgia?
No, it's hard to put meaning into the things David Lynch does because
He's gone on record saying
It's fucking dream logic.
what he's doing is very expressionist. He's just kind of
Capturing a scene.
he very intentionally does not. I think there's a biography of him coming out, an autobiography.
Okay.
Because I read an article and I think it was like an excerpt from it where
When
he
it
talks
comes out
about,
an audiobook, you can get it at audibletrial.com/JK.
where he talks about like Blue Velvet, and I read this huge
I fucking
excerpt,
love Blue Velvet.
and he said 0 things about what anything in Blue Velvet means or is supposed to thing. It is all just like Yeah, so the sound guy quit halfway through because he thought the movie was too disturbing, and so I finished the sound design myself, and that's how I started doing sound design. Like it's all like stuff like
He's
that.
not going into it.
Like
It's
he does not get into anything like that, and that's actually I think works to his advantage because I think if David Lynch sat there and tried to explain what it was, I'm not sure that there is answers. Like first of all, I don't know that there is this hidden meaning that David Lynch has. The closest we've ever gotten to that is in the DVD from Mulholland Drive, in like the booklet that comes with it. He provides clues.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much of that was marketing that was put in there, and if that
I would
actually came
assume
from
that
David
most of
Lynch,
that is
but
marketing.
I
but
doubt David Lynch would give a shit about doing an ARG.
I don't think he does those things with. I don't think he makes any of this stuff intentionally. But it's really hard not to watch season 3 of Twin Peaks and think this is a commentary on how nostalgia is bullshit.
I think if he was going for a through line like that of anything, it would be okay. I had this really successful show that people wanted me to make another season of. I'm gonna give a big fuck you to you guys.
Well, I mean, think about it. When the show was going to end, he was like, "I'm gonna burn down the show. Like I don't like where the show is right now, so I'm gonna kill everybody's favorite characters. I'm just gonna leave giant plot twists. Like I'm just gonna leave plot threads just hanging there, huge cliffhangers, and then I'm just gonna end the show with like half the characters in their own personal hells.
Yeah.
Then they were like, "Okay, do you want to finish out the story and do a movie?" He said, "Sure," and made a prequel instead.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and then so for us to expect him to make like another season of Twin Peaks like it was always kind of silly.
Yeah.
And
It was,
but what we got was so different than what any of us anticipated, and it subverts everything the show originally was so dramatically.
Oh, yeah.
That if you told me what it was going to be like, I would have said, I don't really want to see that. But now having seen it, I don't want to see what I thought I wanted anymore.
Yeah, I think that one way to put it is that the way that he subverted the expectations from what we wanted from a third season was that like we were just lucky to have coffee and donuts involved in the fucking show.
Have you finished watching season 3?
No, I fucking haven't because I love myself, Brendan.
You got to finish it. It's so good. I had something else that was the like sucks, but it's people thinks it sucks, but it really good. And now it escaped my mind.
Yeah, just got on that Lynch high real quick.
It was a music thing, and I can't remember it now.
Thing.
Marilyn Manson.
His new shit is
I got you onto that.
Fire. It is so good.
He's
Marilyn
in his
Manson's
thin white
very
Duke
underrated.
phase, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said about it.
It is so fucking
Iggy
good.
Pop very much failed to enter that phase.
Yeah, he tried real hard. He
Tried
even
to
got
enter his
Josh.
Bowie phase.
Yeah, he tried to even get Josh to help him out.
Yeah,
with that.
no, it's
very
even
good.
his old stuff. There's a very
Yeah.
bad period, but his old stuff's not really that bad.
See, his like I was very much Nine Inch Nails and then like new metal, so like System of a Down and shit like that. And Marilyn Manson was a little bit too close to goth for me to really get into it.
Yeah, if you go back and just listen to that stuff, especially like Mechanical Animals, and just try to appreciate it for the songwriting, it's really good.
Yeah.
Production's good. You know, they're just good. I mean, you get over the cheesy lyrics a little bit when you just accept that's kind of part of what it is.
He's just a bit of a ham. Like he's a very smart
that's
guy.
what it is. It's just like genre fiction.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
The cheesiness is part of the package.
Yeah.
It's like as a review I read of like it was like in defense of Slipknot.
Okay.
And then the guy was like,
You know what?
okay, the lyrics are cheesy and the anger is goofy, but sometimes anger's goofy, and
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't hold that against it that it's portraying it in that way.
It's sincere, if anything.
Why are we thinking that it needs to be taken so seriously? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it can just be cheesy.
Yeah.
What I thought of before and forgot was M. Night Shyamalan's first couple of movies.
Shyamalan made some okay movies, man.
No.
He 100% did. Sixth Sense and
but
fucking
people shit on
Unbreakable are
those old
amazing.
movies now because of how shitty his, I don't know what you want to call it, middle period
Yeah,
is.
like The Village. and
Village.
shit.
Assuming that
fucking The
split,
Happening.
assuming that Split really
Whoa.
is like a reinvigoration and not just a one-off.
Split
of his
looks
career.
great. What's the new one called? Glass?
Yes,
That shit's
Glass.
gonna be dope. I bet.
Yeah,
hope
I
it's
mean,
gonna be
as
good.
I've always been a huge fan of Unbreakable. It's one of my
Unbreakable's
favorite movies.
a fucking amazing
but even
movie.
Signs is not a bad movie.
No.
Signs
It's
dog
just
shit.
that
I'm sorry.
Mel Gibson is just
No,
bad.
okay. I can't. I cannot stand here or sit here and listen to you defend Signs because Signs is dog shit.
Bad ending.
Bad and swing away. Yeah, swing. Well,
Bad.
The fucking Christian overtones to it. And Mel Gibson.
Mel
just
Gibson,
Fucking
bad.
Fucking Joaquin.
But it's not a
sucking
bad
and-
movie.
It's fucking. Why did the
wait.
fucking aliens come to Earth where 90% of everything is fucking water and they're killed by water? Spoilers. It's bullshit. It's a
I
dumb
don't know.
movie.
We go to the moon
That-
and everything
okay,
on the moon kills us.
that-
It's a fucking vacuum.
That movie would have not been gotten anywhere near the critical acclaim it did if it came out 2 movies later.
Probably true. I remember going to see The Village and being like,
my
what's the
God.
twist going to be? And then 15 minutes in the movie, I'm like, I know what the twist is going to be. It was so obvious. Unbreakable
Did you see The
was
Happening
amazing,
though?
No, I didn't. Bother.
If you just want to watch Mark Wahlberg pretend to be a math teacher,
What the fuck? I do like quadratic equations up in here.
I know all about him.
X equals negative B plus or minus square root, dude.
I'm so pumped for Glass
Glass looks like a
because we
Camino
never
for it.
thought this was going to happen.
No, there was no reason for it to happen.
Although I do wish that I had like known before. I didn't know when I went to see.
I knew
Split.
when
I went to see it.
Oh, you knew that it was going to be an Unbreakable tie-in?
Yeah, because they didn't
spoilers.
they didn't advertise it at all.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, the new one's coming out. I'm not
Yeah, they're already showing it in the trailer.
Yeah, I wouldn't have watched it if nobody said that because
Yeah.
his career had been so shitty.
Yeah.
But I wish that for some reason I had gone and seen it in the movie theater because I would have lost my shit at the end of the movie.
It was like I had heard about that kind of in passing, didn't really understand what they meant by it because I didn't put the pieces together in my head. But the big thing for me to see Split was what's his name?
McAvoy.
I fucking love James
McAvoy
McAvoy.
was so good.
He's normally very
He
good.
holds up all those X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Like
he's
that
so
he's in.
he's so fucking good. Have you seen Filth?
Filth was so good.
Filth. So it's you know the guy who wrote Trainspotting. What's his fucking name? Ivan Welsh.
Irving Welsh.
Irving Welsh. He wrote Trainspotting. He also wrote another book about cops being bad in Scotland, called Filth, and it's fucking amazing. Starring John McAvoy. Highly recommend it.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy, John McAvoy, same fucking McAvoy.
Listen, Chris
So
is all
bad
about
with names.
passion today. He's not about facts. That's what me and Brendan are here to do.
All right.
Fact check. Joaquin Phoenix is in his best looking phase yet.
I rented that movie.
Did you watch?
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
You Were Never Really Here.
I got
boy.
into a little
Ooh.
spat with Google about my earbuds that I got.
Yeah.
And then after I got my refund, I'm like, so you guys gonna do anything for me? They're like, no. I'm like, fuck you. I own this. I fucking use Project Fi. Go fuck yourself. Give me something. They gave me $10, so I rented a movie with it.
Nice.
Yep. But all right. So I got one last thing. Then I think we'll move on to topic number 3. What is propped up by nostalgia but still hot motherfucking fire? Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos.
Gushers.
Hell yeah. Dude, I'm gonna lay this right on the line. Fucking Die Hard. Die Hard is
Die Hard's amazing.
such a good fucking movie, and
It's
every
so
single second of it
fucking
is great.
good.
I love parodies of Die Hard on comedies that I watch.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has a great one. Bob's Burgers has a great one.
Oh, Nicole has a comment. She has texted me. James McAvoy is Scottish, so of course he's good.
Yeah, dude.
Of course.
He's a real hottie. He's a top tier hunk.
Yeah, he's a
He's
fucking
in the Hall of
treat.
Fame.
The Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski.
Big Lebowski's fucking amazing.
holds up.
100% nostalgia for me. 100% even better than my nostalgia.
I
thinks it
love
is.
showing someone that
Yeah.
movie. That is a great experience because I don't feel any stress with other people. Like sometimes I'll show somebody something and I'm like, I really
yeah.
hope they like it. Like it may not hit them the same way it hits me, but like some
Big
of them are
Lebowski,
just
dude,
fucking
that's
guaranteed.
that's an easy win.
Yeah, for sure.
That's an easy win. Oh, we're not friends yet? You never seen the Big Lebowski? Hold the fuck on, sir.
yeah.
I don't know. My go-to movie has become Tickled now.
Oh,
Tickled.
Tickled's so good. Even though, so he's got that show now.
Yeah, I heard it's.
He shouldn't be in front
I
of the camera
think
as
he
much
should
as
make
he
a
is.
show where he goes and like takes down rich douchebags.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
He
could
did
do
such
that.
a good job of that in Tickled. Yeah, that movie's amazing. Don't look it up. Don't read
just-
anything
just
about
fucking
it.
go watch it.
Just watch
It's on
it.
HBO.
It will blow your fucking mind.
It's fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
I make people watch it just so I can sit there and creepily stare at them to
Yeah.
vicariously appreciate
And just
it.
wiggle your
I
fingers.
wish I could forget that movie and watch it
It's
again
so
every day.
good. I knew too much about it when I got into it too.
I think I listened to the dollop
I did
about
very
it
little.
before, or maybe I can't remember which order. I think I did it in the other order.
I told
actually.
you about it
You
because
told me
I
about
saw
it,
I saw
yeah.
it in the theater. I'm like,
Yeah.
you gotta watch this shit. That was before we started listening to the
It's amazing.
That's true.
That movie is unbelievable.
So
King of Kong was the movie I did that.
Oh,
with
that was
before
fucking
that.
great. That's another one propped up by nostalgia because that was one of the first like cool documentaries I saw in college. I'm like,
That
oh,
was kind of before this like big
Yeah.
wave of
documentary
documentaries.
boom.
and I guess maybe people could look down on it now because it was like everybody knows. Well, everybody should know King of Kong, but that is an amazing documentary.
It's
from start to finish.
unbelievable. Yeah, I remember I had my friend Baird come over and I was like, "You gotta watch this movie." And he's like, "I don't give a shit about Donkey Kong." And I was like, "Trust me."
It's not what it's about,
5
dude.
minutes in the movie, he's like, "Fuck you, Billy Mitchell."
You piece of shit. Monty Python and the Flying Circus.
Also great.
Leave it
Yes.
at that. That is a show well deserving nostalgia and all the accolades that it gets. God bless them.
God bless America. And on that note, we're moving on now to topic number.
We gonna get there?
3.
There we are.
You made fun of my sentence, so I gotta kick it up a notch.
All right, I am going to do this topic. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kick off the best season of the year.
Okay.
Which is Spooky Scary.
Oh, yeah. 31 days of Halloween.
The best part of the year, by far, is the Halloween season.
Okay.
And if Christmas keeps encroaching on it, I'm going to lose my mind. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do a little bracket.
Okay.
And this is best slasher movie villains.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're going to...
Oh, I get behind this.
we got Chris in
what
here.
we're going to do is short discussion, and
Okay.
then we'll vote, and then we'll move the bracket forward.
Okay. Do I have a pen? Do you need me to pen?
Oh, also... No, I'm good. I got it all up here.
Oh, you've already got the ones?
I have the brackets written up already.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry,
and
sorry.
I have, and then at the end, I have guesses written down for what I think your favorite from this list is going to be for
Okay.
each of you, and I want to see if I'm right at the
Oh,
end.
it's a feint within a feint.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So first matchup,
Okay. Are they going to win or are they just better slashers?
we'll discuss and then we'll vote who is the best,
I can
and we
behind
can
this.
define that however we want in every category.
All right, sounds good.
First one is classic Jason.
Okay.
Jason Voorhees versus Chucky.
Well, Jason rips Chucky's head off, and I find Chucky to be annoying, not funny, and I think that the Jason movies, Friday the 13th movies, are just better.
So the first
fucking
Friday
movies.
the 13th movie. Here's the thing, though. We're doing Jason. So first Friday the 13th
Is not
movie
Jason.
doesn't count. He does come in at the end. It is the best part of the movie, though.
Yeah, it is.
So it's a little hard to say.
It's just his
That
mom's
is
that
that is
doesn't
one of the
forever.
greatest moments
mom.
in horror movie history too.
It's
when
so
he
good.
comes out there.
Yeah.
That does nail it really well.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the classic, like the legend becomes real at the end
Yeah.
of the movie. at the
Would we
climax of
have
the
such
movie.
a negative view of Chucky if so many shitty Chucky movies didn't come out?
I don't know. I just feel like
I don't like that character.
I mean, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate because I think this is pretty obvious.
this is an
gonna
easy
be.
one. I mean, like Chucky's a little shitty doll. He's a big giant man.
it's a horror movie where that tried to do the comedy horror and just it did not.
It was trying too hard.
All right, let's vote on this one. Jason.
It's fucking
Jason.
Jason. It's
Okay.
fucking Jason.
All right. Next matchup. I think this one. I think these first matchups are not terribly difficult for the most part. One
Well,
is,
it makes sense. You're seating your number one versus your 13 or whatever. Exactly.
That's what I tried to do here. We have a personal favorite of mine, Leatherface, versus Ghostface from Scream.
Okay. Ghostface is like a feminine.
Whose face is better?
Yeah.
Ghostface is the effeminate cousin of Leatherface.
Yeah,
Like, Ghostface like comes out and is like, gonna stab
It's
you.
all meta now. Get it?
Nicole actually only recently saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, really?
Last year,
Dude.
She did, like many people. This is a thing that people think is just nostalgia, but sucks. That movie is fucking awesome.
If you know about like the background, like I think there's a documentary on it about they went through fucking hell making that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
They almost like died and shit.
It's,
Like,
it's a horror movie. It takes place almost entirely in the light during the day.
Yeah.
in Texas.
Yeah, it's the knockoffs of it don't do
No,
they do
no.
a great disservice to how great that movie
Just the
really
way
is.
it even looks, like they're in that
it's
shitty
so-
little
There's
shack
no
and they've got the
fucking-
metal
There's no
door and stuff.
explanation. There's no motive.
So
it's
maybe-
just the family is just a force of
It's
nature.
such
and
a-
Leatherface is just, dude. That first scene when Leatherface comes out and hits the guy, and then it slams that door. That's one of the most chilling moments in horror movie history.
Yeah, that metal door is just like
Even with the
Amazing
the
set piece.
shitty film quality ends up feeding into the movie.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah,
Everything's
it
great
does.
about
the
it.
whole
It
thing
adds
is
to
like
the
heavy
aesthetic of
metal.
it.
Like just
It's
play a heavy metal
amazing.
album over it.
So I
and
was
that's
I
your
was gonna
fucking
say
Halloween.
like maybe not definitely not the quality, but I think the most recent a horror movie that kind of captured that look and that feel is probably House of Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects.
yes,
which were kind of obvious knockoffs.
yeah.
Yeah, no, like
The
blatant
Firefly
obvious.
family
Yeah,
is supposed to
yeah,
be the
but-
family from Leatherface.
Yeah.
But now I'll play devil's advocate again because it's my game.
Okay.
Ghostface brought back the slasher movie.
That's true.
He did. He made it cool.
He made. I mean, Ghostface. I mean, Scream basically brought back the idea that you're gonna have a summer slasher film with just
Yeah.
teens fucking and getting stabbed,
And it was
like
it was
good
it
old
was
American
meta.
fun.
It wasn't like on the line slasher.
It was.
They had the comic elements.
It's
to
meta.
it.
The subversive elements of it don't hold up as well as they seem to then.
was the first
I
time
think
they
because
did it.
Cabin in the Woods did it a billion times
Holy
better.
Yeah,
shit,
for
that's-
sure.
But
for
putting
sure.
aside
That's one of my favorite
the
horror
amazingness
movies.
that is Cabin in the
That
Woods.
fucking movie. How many times have we talked about Josh Whedon in this podcast?
Josh, you are
Josh,
so bad
sorry.
with names.
Chris is just fucking up people's first names like a grandma.
So I think we're ready to vote on this one.
Okay,
so it's Leatherface.
It's Leatherface. Leatherface can't fucking fall out this early in the competition.
It's very true.
It's insulting.
Okay, I think this is the first good matchup here. Michael Myers versus Candyman.
Candyman.
I don't know enough about Candyman.
Oh my god, you guys are killing me here.
I don't know if I've seen that movie.
Candyman.
I know
Tony Todd.
Okay.
It is. It's not an underrated movie because people have watched it, but it's relatively. It's not known as well as it should be.
Okay.
But it is a very smart, interesting take on kind of the slasher movie. It's supposed to the tagline is basically like Candyman. You look in a mirror, you say Candyman.
Yeah,
5 times,
I know
he comes
that
in, he kills you.
legend.
He's got a hook for a hand.
Yep.
He's fucking made out of bees.
He's made out of bees?
Yeah,
That's
but
formidable. I like
and
that.
spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't watched a movie from 1992. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. It's actually this whole story about. So he's played by Tony Todd, so he's a black dude, and it's a whole story about. I think he was the son of a slave who got freed, and he was an artist, and a lynch mob came and lynched him and covered him and cut his hand off so he couldn't paint anymore, and replaced it with a hook, and then covered him in bees. Or covered him in honey so bees would attack him and kill him.
They did that
and then
in
they
real
burnt
life.
his body. And spread the ashes over. So, but it does not. The way that the movie tells that story can be very exploitative feeling.
Yeah.
It's really not though, and it does a good job of this kind of revenge of the wronged kind of thing. And also Tony Todd really terrifying as the fucking Candyman, and the movie goes a while before he ever even comes in. And it's not as simple as I'm going to say the name 5 times. He shows up and kill me. It's this whole thing about folklore and the power of myth and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm into that for sure.
Yeah, no, I gotta check
Although
this out.
now it's not really very fair of a competition if you haven't seen it, but it's a really good movie.
Here's the thing.
Sequel is as exploitative as you would assume the first one was.
Yeah.
That's normally how that goes.
Here's what I have to say. I love Metal Gear Solid 3. And there's a man covered in bees in that. He's a great enemy. It's a great game. I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna put my vote towards Candyman. I also did enjoy when we were kids say the name into the mirror 3 times. Never
it's
did
definitely
it
a very
myself.
Bloody Mary kind of thing.
What
But
was
the
the-
other one is Michael Myers.
Michael
though.
Myers.
Yeah,
He just
That's
wanted to fuck his sister.
That's the original. Oh my god.
That's
so,
only in Rob Zombie's version.
Well,
No,
no,
that's
that's in the
the-
original. That's the first scene. He walks in on his sister fucking.
his sister getting piped down. Come
Yep.
on, say it right.
Sorry, his sister getting piped down, giving up that poon, and he saw that and he wanted to be close to his sister, so he grabs a knife and he stabs her. He penetrates her.
It's listen, Chris is a film boy, and this is every knife is a phallic
Yeah,
symbol.
everything's a dick.
Every time it rains,
Everything's a
it's a
dick.
baptism.
Also, his face is William Shatner's
it's Will
face
Shatner,
inside out.
which is fucking great.
yeah, that's a great.
I mean, if you watch the movie, it holds up.
Yeah,
It's a classic.
I gotta go with Mike Myers.
I know you wouldn't be a film student if you
Yeah,
didn't.
because that's just classic film genre, horror, trope. That's you got to go with Mike Myers.
All right, I'm gonna, for the sake of tradition, I'm gonna go Mike Myers too.
Okay. I respect your decision.
But Candyman, you should.
Hey,
watch it.
check that out.
I
I'm gonna
feel
check it
bad
out,
moving
dude.
Candyman forward if you guys haven't seen the movie, because then the matchups are gonna be all screwed up.
Yeah.
All right, this is another one, and I feel like I know where some people are gonna go on this one. Freddy Krueger versus, and this might be a controversial one to include in the list. John Doe from Seven.
I like that.
John Doe from Seven, 100%.
You know
because Freddy Krueger can go fuck himself with his knife fingers. Because fuck that movie.
You know what? Here's the thing that I have to say about Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger needs to be exposed. Freddy Krueger needs to step down. Freddy Krueger is a pedophile.
Yep. So's
So fuck him.
so's Kevin Spacey.
Time's up, Kevin Spacey. Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Yeah, now you're upset about the fake pedophile one than the real one.
I don't know. Well, we're talking about fantasy here. We're keeping it fiction, so yeah. Fuck.
I don't know, man.
Well, so calling Seven,
Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't hold up as well as some of the other movies.
it never
that we're
never
talking
held
about.
up. It's not a good
But
fucking movie.
Johnny Depp was
conceptually,
watching it.
This idea of you can't go to sleep because he's going to come get you in
Yeah.
your dreams. Good
Cool
concept.
concept, yes.
And the he's well acted and cast character.
Yeah. I didn't like his one-liners where he's like,
I don't
those
like
are-
that character.
those are
I
more
don't
so
like
than
the
later.
plot.
No.
I fucking don't like that movie. It's
Wes
stupid.
Craven's New Nightmare is a good movie though.
Yeah.
It's very screamish. It's
Okay.
If you don't know much about it, it is basically about the people that are in and make the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. They basically all play themselves.
Okay.
And then he comes to life in the real world
Freddy-
while they're
Freddy
making
Krueger
a Freddy
shit.
Krueger movie.
Okay.
He comes to life and kills the people making the movie about him, like Wes Craven.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I can fuck with that.
it's pretty funny how subversive it is.
Yeah.
But you know,
I think Freddy.
it suffers from. If somebody did it today, I think it would work better. But it was done in like the '90s when things were cheesy.
Yeah.
It's hard because like horror as a genre and slashers, the subgenre of horror, they can be extremely well done being subversive, or can just look like fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like I like Chucky versus like the Devil's Rejects, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like one is going for a very, if you can't tell, Devil's Rejects is one of my favorite horror movies. Go for a very particular type of atmosphere and kind of tongue in cheek, like this is a early 80s slasher movie, or Chucky, we're like, oh, we're gonna make it funny too. No, we suck.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know.
All right, so let's vote on this one.
Oh, it's fucking John Doe. But also calling Seven a horror movie, that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, I'm saying best like slasher guy, and from that angle,
Oh yeah,
even though Seven is told from the angle of like
Yeah.
the police investigating,
Yeah,
you don't
it's
know who it
true.
is. I mean, it's you're only seeing the aftermath, but I mean, those are slasher scenes.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
You only
That's
need
a
to
good point.
change the point of view of that movie to make it a slasher movie.
It's the things you're tiptoeing on like psychological thriller type stuff.
Yeah, but I'm concerned more about the type of character it is.
Here, well, listen. This is a Halloween bracket. This is all about the spooks and scares, and I think that's a
spooks and
scary,
scares.
spooky.
Speaking of
All right,
spooks
so
and
we're-
scares,
What's
going
in the
with-
box, though?
Are you
what
going
is
with
in the
John Doe?
box?
I'm gonna go with John Doe. Too.
Okay, well,
I
I'm gonna-
fucking I don't,
then
I
let's
don't
move
like
on,
Freddy
'cause John
Krueger.
Doe wins.
Not in a bit.
All right, so next bracket up is going to be Jason versus Leatherface. Then now we're in tier 2.
Okay, so this is where
Now
it
it's gonna
becomes
get hard.
difficult.
Jason versus Leatherface. Who came first?
Who came first?
I believe Leatherface.
I
came
think Leatherface
first.
was first.
Okay.
I think by a substantial margin.
Yeah.
They're both giant simpletons. Like, let's be real.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's
fair.
true.
They both have a big dick weapon.
Yep.
One is gas powered. One is
Knife.
ass powered. Yeah.
It's tough.
That's
I think this is
a tough
matchup, man.
like my pretension senses are tingling. I don't know which one I want to go with. Like, I think that without Leatherface, you don't have Jason.
I agree with that. I think that you got to have the big man who's getting. Well, but here's the thing that's the interesting thing. What do you think is scarier? Somebody who's trying to get revenge on the world, or somebody who just is fucking killing?
Just as fucking killing
Just
people.
fucking killing people.
Chaos is always
Yeah.
scarier than order.
Yeah, like
That's why conspiracy theories are so popular.
Yeah, that's true.
it just somebody just fucking crazy, like insanely crazy, like Ed Gein, who I'm pretty sure Leatherface was kind of
Kind
He
of
was,
based
he was
on, yeah.
partially based
Yeah.
on, although there's arguments that again never actually killed anybody.
He just fucked with
may
bodies.
have, he may have just killed like one person. I
Yeah,
think is
they're
the going
reasonably
theory.
sure he killed one person, possibly more. The rest seems to
Mostly
have been
just-
scavenged from graveyards.
grave digging. Yeah.
But
Making
that's what it was. That's
nipple
what the
belts.
whole like leather face thing is
Yes.
based on.
I gotta go with Leatherface.
I mean, yeah, I love Jason, but here's
So
the difference.
classic, though.
Here's the difference between Jason's movies and Leatherface's movies. Leatherface never went to space.
It's a good fucking
Not
point.
Yeah,
once.
it's a good point in Leatherface's favor. But here's a good question: do you guys know which movie he has the hockey mask in?
It's got to be the second one, right?
It's the second one.
Wrong.
Third one?
It's not till the third one.
Jesus Christ, what does he have in the second one?
First one is mom's the killer.
Right.
Second one, he's the killer, but he just doesn't have a mask.
Oh.
It's just him. He's just an undead dude.
Yeah.
And then it's in the third movie that he actually puts the mask on. So the iconic thing about him actually doesn't come in for a long time.
Yeah.
But those movies came out really quickly.
Yes.
Like I think it's 80, 81, and 82.
They were
so
probably knew it was going to blow up pretty big.
it was intended to be, I think, so they were going to make it. It wasn't intended to be a trilogy, but it was intended to be like an anthology. Mm-hmm. It was going to be just always called Friday the 13th, and it was going to be anthology.
Mm-hmm.
But because of how the reception was for the insane ending of the first one, people wanted more Jason, so that's why they decided to move forward with doing the story going forward.
One other thing, I don't know if you've seen, I don't know, remember from which Friday the 13th movie it was, but he kills somebody while they're in a sleeping bag. Mm-hmm. It's one of the most brutal fucking deaths I've ever seen. And,
Yeah.
there's like no blood. He's just like, bang, 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 just fucking just kill somebody in the fucking sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Leatherface.
I gotta say Leatherface. Too.
Yeah,
I'm
I is
sorry.
about Leatherface.
Leatherface. That
just
whole
fucking terrifying.
fucking movie is just perfect.
It's such a good fucking horror movie.
So that means the next matchup is Mike Myers versus John Doe.
Mike Myers is gonna cornhole Kevin Spacey. That's what you get, Kevin.
Sorry, dude.
That's what happens.
Them's the breaks, my friend. Don't lay down with young boys. I mean, okay, so I think that see, I don't know if we're just going on coolness factor, because if it's a fight between the two, I don't know, because John Doe could have many traps. He's a trapman. You know, he's in the trap, making his traps, listening to trap
Out of
music.
nowhere, Jigsaw shows up and kills them both.
I think it's the same question as last time. What's scarier, chaos or order? John Doe is all about order.
Yes.
Mike Myers just
Yeah, so like I feel like
unless you buy the
Myers
whole like scream, like if you fuck, you're fucked.
Don't fuck nobody. Don't do it once.
especially not little boys, Kevin.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It should be Mike Myers going through like a Hollywood party, killing everybody, and then he sees Kevin Spacey with a young boy, and the young boy's like, "Come here, out of here," and then he just fucking stabs him.
So I think you bring up a good point. You know, chaos versus order. John Doe would like set up an elaborate trap, and he get him once and think that he's going to kill Mike
Yeah, like
Myers.
fucking
Mike Myers isn't going to fucking stop.
No fucking way, because like
gonna
in
keep
the movie,
going.
when was it the Dr. Lupus or something like that? His name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He unloads a fucking pistol into him. Motherfucker falls out the window. Gets up, walks away like a fucking.
That's such. I forgot about that.
Like
scene.
a fucking
That's
G.
such a
It's
good
so
fucking scene.
That's
metal.
one of the other like really bright points for Mike Myers in this is like it's never even like this is how much of chaos it is. It's never really established like why can he take a bullet like that?
Yeah,
He just
It's not,
does.
They never say like, oh, he's some undead monstrosity. No, it's just
it's just what he does.
it's just he just can deal with it.
Yeah,
He's got that mask on, dude.
see
He's
the
got
new-
all the powers of Shatner.
You see, they're making a new one,
yeah.
but it's ignoring everything after the second one.
Okay. So no. Wait,
It might even be ignoring the second one. I think it's ignoring everything after the second one.
what do you guys think?
I
Just
think
a quick sidebar. What do you guys think of the Rob Zombie versions?
The first one was serviceable. I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I
The second
thought
one
it was-
was
the
a
second was
little
dog shit.
Yeah, it was a little bad.
You know
And
who
he's
did not
on the
like it
record-
was John Carpenter.
Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Have you
happy
watched
with any of
that
those. Oh, no,
thing he
he's not
says about
happy.
him?
Yeah, he hates. He's not happy.
Like I think there was like a line where he was like, "Yeah, so Rob like sent me a script. He's like, oh, you cool with this?" And I'm like, "No."
No, it's worse than that. He says that he told Rob Zombie, like, do whatever you got to do. Make it yours. Don't feel like you have to adhere to anything I did.
that's
Make
right,
it
yeah.
your movie. And he's like, and then Rob said I didn't support him. So fuck that guy. Like, he's so brutal about it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons John Carpenter also wrote the music. And that is one of the best horror
It's
movie
iconic.
soundtracks ever.
Absolutely.
I know I've been
iconic.
playing Dead by Daylight, and he's in there, and there's a stage
I've
that plays
got
the
it.
music.
Haven't played it yet. It
He's
was
just
free.
going around the country.
It's a
playing
little
shows
cheesy, but
now.
it's fun.
Yeah.
But you can play as Mike Myers. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So what are we voting here?
It's got to be Mike
Yeah, Mike
Myers.
Myers.
Like,
Mike Myers?
I'm sorry, like Brad Pitt's hunkiness is not enough to carry it through. Was it Gwyneth Paltrow? Who's the lady in it?
Yeah, it's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Sorry, you can't carry it. Like
I have
your
a big
Pretty
complaint.
Little Head's not enough.
Yeah, I got a big
Sorry.
complaint about that movie actually regarding her character. She does not appear in the movie for like an hour before she dies, and it really undercuts the impact of that moment.
Yeah.
They really should have had at least like one more scene with her sometime in the movie. You like forget she was even in it by the
All
time she
you
dies.
should they just eat dinner with her once, and then he
Yeah.
cuts her fucking head off.
Spoiler.
Well,
Well, now everybody knows what's in the box.
pretty little head. They should have showed it too. Fuck that.
When I originally saw that movie, no idea Kevin Spacey was going to be in it.
Yeah.
Really?
Like I got surprised by that one. I had no idea.
You thought that Kaiser Sose was going to be in it.
Yeah. Final matchup
All right.
for the title.
This
of
is a
PIK
tough one.
Mascot for Halloween.
I'm actually very happy with this matchup. I feel
Yeah.
like this is a good one.
Leatherface versus Mike Myers. Okay.
Nothing.
That was not as dramatic as we were hoping for.
Well, how about?
You got to hit two high keys right next to each other.
Okay, let's see.
That's the trick. Okay, not like that. You've done it wrong.
That's all right. I get down with that.
I guess.
Okay,
Man, this is
Mike Myers versus
not to say it again.
Leatherface.
Who came first?
Leatherface, right?
Leatherface.
gotta
Right?
Did Leatherface?
I don't actually know.
I'll
I
look
think
it up.
he might have.
I mean, they're almost like the branch point between horror. You
they're
have
two very different types of horror.
the classic slasher.
Yep.
And then you have like just the
the indie crazy, like
Exactly.
fucking dirty.
Every indie horror film wants to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
And every big name movie wants to be Halloween.
Yep.
And I think that it's a very like it's a tough matchup. It really is.
Maybe they become best friends. And then they kill all of us.
Okay, yeah. Halloween 4 years after Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's the opus, man. That's the beginning.
I like how we came down on both chaoses.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's fucking terrifying.
It's way scarier, dude. If
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on in their face, that's why Freddy sucks.
Yeah.
It's because Freddy fucking talks.
Yeah, talk way too goddamn much.
Chucky sucks because Chucky talks.
Yeah, good point. Even going back to John Doe from 7, he barely talks.
Barely talks. But he does a lot of writing.
Yeah,
He's
he
doing a lot of thinking.
Leatherface just does that weird fucking like pig noise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, that's sloth, but
I
okay.
was gonna say that's fucking Chewbacca.
That's what's behind the mask.
I think that they become best friends.
I
Super
want
evil
them to.
best friends,
Oh my god, they would have such a good time.
and they just go
Skipping in the
they
summertime.
just go around killing.
Mike Myers carves a pumpkin for him. He does like a chainsaw carving of a bear.
I just got this like
What?
funny video of them like frolicking through like the woods, and like Leatherface's chainsaw goes astray and cuts off Mike Myers' arms. He just laughs. Ha 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 ha. The next scene he's got it like taped back on or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a hard matchup.
It
man.
is.
Well, here's a dividing factor between the two. Lone Wolf versus Family of
okay.
Evil.
Okay, that's true. That is a good point. Because Leatherface doesn't exist without the family. Mm-hmm. And
Leatherface is basically the executioner of that family. They
but he's
lure
the
you in.
entire like he's a string. Okay, so maybe he doesn't.
He
That's-
stands out in the movie,
Yeah.
just because it's the visual.
Oh, of
and
course.
that scene with the freaking door and like the hook, like all that stuff. Another remarkable thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre: very little blood and gore in that movie. Mm-hmm.
It's like when he cuts his hand in the beginning.
Yeah.
the guy they pick up. And I think there's not much else.
There's
outside
very
of that.
little, but whenever you talk to somebody afterward, they think that movie
Yeah.
was incredibly graphic.
It's not.
but
It's
you
just
see,
it's just such a
you see
well-done
almost
fucking
nothing,
movie.
and that is why I think that's where I think Rob Zombie always fucks up. He does so much showing that I think
Yeah.
it undermines a lot of what
I
he's
think
trying
he
to do.
did a good job with Devil's Rejects. I think that
I thought Devil's Rejects and House of 1,000 Corpses are like the dopest. Like I love those.
House of
movies.
1,000 Corpses.
It's campy. It's campy
was
in a weird
campy,
way sometimes.
and it wasn't. I don't think done as well. Devil's Rejects was a great subversion of horror tropes.
House of
I think that
1,000
was
Corpses
done
just
really well.
so clearly a ripoff of
Oh yeah, it's a remake.
even with
essentially.
like the crazy dude that they pick. I mean, and I'm pretty sure it's the same actor.
Yeah.
I think it might be
okay.
the same guy.
So you're missing one character from all of this. Fucking Captain Spaulding is like one of the best horror characters ever. Go fuck yourself. Shit the bed.
All these characters are so much better than Kevin Spaulding.
I will
you know
say
why?
that,
Talks
but-
too much.
he does talk.
He talks a lot.
But he's
that's the
funny.
whole point of Devil's Rejects. It's like, making you care for these pieces of shit.
Yes.
By the end of it, you almost want them to survive. But then you remember that they like killed and raped and like did a whole bunch of bad stuff.
You know another thing you remember at the end of the movie? Freebird fucking slaps, bro.
Yeah, House of 1,000 Corpses really falls apart.
He
pretty
does. At
quickly.
the end-
It's
at
once
the end it
starts
gets
getting
very
into like the
fucking
Dr.
weird.
Satan stuff. It
Yeah.
just like really starts to
Yeah, where the
unravel.
fuck did Dr. Satan go?
Yeah,
in
I
the
think-
second
Oh
movie.
yeah, I mean Devil's Reach is pretty obviously kind of like a retcon of
Yeah,
the-
they're
Yeah.
just trying to do that again.
yeah.
They're like, we got a lot of stuff. Don't worry, Dr. Satan died or something. Too old.
Don't worry about them. I got to go with Leatherface though. To put this to bed, if I have to choose one, it's going to be Leatherface. I got to say that's just that style of horror, like showing, like not showing it all, not being overt, not being crazy violent, but you can feel it and the way it looks. I got to go with Leatherface.
So here's a point in favor of Mike Myers though. The whole like stalkery aspect of him is really creepy.
Oh, yeah.
It
He
is.
just silently walks from house
like
to
hangs
house
out.
in that
fact,
first movie.
in Dead by Daylight, that's his special ability. Is if you stalk the enemies or like the survivors long enough, he gets more powerful the longer you
crazy.
watch them for. Mm-hmm. Which is really on point.
Well, he's kind of like, it's almost like It Follows in a sense where he's just fucking coming for you. He doesn't move that fast. He
But he's
doesn't
coming.
run.
Yeah.
Real gangsters don't run fast. Real gangsters run slow.
That's true, man. I think that's where that whole trope of the slow moving slasher guy comes from. Is really from Mike Myers. So, what's your vote, Andy?
Leatherface is a better dancer. He dances with the chainsaw at the end. But I gotta go with Mike Myers. I mean, our father dressed up as Mike Myers quite frequently at the house.
He did, didn't he?
We knew a Myers growing up.
With
It just
I'm gonna have to,
and the fucking soundtrack. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
the
that's true. That
fucking
soundtrack's
soundtrack
really
is so
good.
good.
This is. I'm gonna have to break the tie. This is a very difficult decision, but I'm gonna have to just give it to Leatherface. Solely for that sliding door close, man. I'll bring it up 1,000 times, but
fucking scene,
that
man.
sliding door close. I remember the look on Nicole's face when we watched that movie. Just the look of like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, man.
Because even if you like know the reputation of the movie, even if you know like, oh, there's gonna be a Leatherface guy with a chainsaw, that it's shot from far away. It's like it's way down the hallway from the door. That scene is just so good.
It's just the things that they don't show in that movie are so good. Like, you don't see the interior of the house besides the fucking living room. That's pretty much it.
Let's see if my guess is for just who your favorite of these 8, just aside from the competition.
Yep.
Who your favorite of these 8 was going to be. Chris, what was yours? Who's yours from the whole 8? Your favorite person?
It's probably Leatherface.
Probably Leatherface?
Yeah.
Andy?
I don't really know. Oh, I gotta lean either toward Mike Myers or Leatherface. But
So my guess is for who your favorites were
Okay.
going to be.
Yeah, tell me what I
guess
think.
Andy, Mike Myers.
okay,
And I guess Chris, John Doe.
Really?
Yeah.
See, he's not
I know it's tough because he's not really. If
Okay,
John
if
Doe
it
wasn't
was-
in the list, I would have guessed Leatherface. For you.
if it was best character in general, the best written character is John
yeah,
Doe.
that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's just
because he's the only written character.
yeah, exactly. Everything else is just like,
Everybody else is kind of a force of nature. In a
yeah,
certain
it
way.
could be like, yeah, it's a deer with a fucking chainsaw. That's fucking Leatherface. Imagine that.
that would be great. Maybe and it
Somebody
could be
will
like
make it,
a
dude.
conservation message.
Yeah.
It's like you've destroyed my grazing areas, and now I have to come and kill you all. That's
I
like
mean,
the Wendigo or
we
whatever.
already have the ginger dead man, so
Yeah.
I don't put anything past him anymore.
So what was your favorite out of all of them?
My favorite album is Leatherface.
Yeah.
I have a hard time going with anybody but Leatherface.
It's just such a classic. I don't fucking said it.
Plus,
a million
it does
times.
predate these other things.
It invented stuff. It was it's iconic.
Yeah, it's a shame that like they never lived back up to it.
They didn't have to.
But yeah, they don't really have to because the first
Yeah.
one is just
That
so
doesn't.
fucking good.
You listen in here, kids. That doesn't always have to be a sequel. It's
That's
okay.
fucking true.
It's okay for a movie to live
And just be a
in
movie.
one fucking 2
I
hour
think they're
segment.
doing- aren't they?
That's
I don't know
it.
if it already came out, but aren't they doing a Leatherface movie?
Oh, fucking
like
probably.
a prequel, like
fucking
Your Loads Would Come
probably.
From. And how garbage was that Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake?
Didn't
Oh,
even
the
see
one
it.
with McConaughey.
Did that McConaughey?
Yeah,
in it?
I don't know.
McConaughey.
It was a lady
while
covered in
ago.
blood.
It was like
The only upside of that whole movie is Arlie Ermy as the
Is he in
town
it?
cop,
wow.
who turns out to like be in league with the Leatherface and his band of merry misfits.
All right. I think that we need to just say congratulations, Mike, or Leatherface. Congratulations, Leatherface. Mike Myers, you did great. One day you'll get to fuck your sister. You're not going
You'll
to
get
appreciate it with this. So
Leatherface probably gets her.
here's to you. Here's to you, Leatherface.
Ooh, good job. I wasn't ready for that one. So what do you guys say here? You wanna?
I say, folks, if you're still listening, thank you for listening.
There's a cat.
Chris is-
himself on the fucking microphone.
Mog is on the table.
He is.
Mog is the real
Her.
slasher.
She is.
If you're still
She's
listening, thank
pointing
you
her
for
vagina
listening.
at you. She's definitely a female.
Brendan, thanks for coming on. Thanks for doing
Yeah.
this thing
Thanks
you do
for
for us.
chopping it up with the boys.
Yeah, thanks for doing this thing you do for us every week.
You got a solid critical voice sitting right behind a microphone every week.
Every week.
And folks, yeah, like Andy said, if you're listening, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. We love your face. That's what Philip DeFranco says.
We
love-
Leatherface.
We leather face. Get an audiobook, all that good stuff. Go see Brendan's show. When is it again?
September 27th at Paulie's Hotel.
Yeah, just ask my promoter.
I'm his
Andy.
new manager.
Oh, nice. Also, too, our buddy Steve is playing a show
Yes, this week at
this weekend. This
Upstate
weekend.
Concert Hall. Obituary.
Playing with Obituary. I will be there.
Be there or be square.
And folks, be nice to each other, right?
Everyone I know. Everyone I know. Slasher movies and Halloween is spooky.
Freddy Krueger can get fucked.